The alarms inside the Sarathi royal ship were still ringing when Lieutenant Marcus Hale opened his eyes. Smoke drifted in the long silver hallway, and the floor under him shook like a giant had struck the ship from outside. His ears buzzed, his body hurt everywhere, and the metallic smell of burning wires filled the air. In the blur of flashing red lights, Marcus saw the alien queen kneeling over her small, glowing child. The child trembled, wrapped in its mother's arms, and the queen's deep violet eyes were full of shock and rage. She stared at Marcus like she was trying to understand why a human would do something so impossible. Minutes earlier, everything had been peaceful. Marcus had arrived on the Sarathi flagship as part of a diplomatic human team. Peace between humans and the Sarathi was fragile, like glass ready to break. Many people from both sides still carried old anger from past battles. Marcus was only a security officer for the mission, but he took his job seriously. Peace was rare in the galaxy, and he knew that even one mistake could start a war. The Sarathi queen looked powerful and elegant when she greeted them. Her species had silver-blue skin, tall, slender bodies, and glowing eyes that changed with emotion. Behind her stood her only heir, her child, small, curious, and covered in faint golden markings. It watched Marcus with interest, as if it felt something familiar in him. Everything seemed peaceful, until Marcus noticed something that others did not. A small device sat hidden behind a pillar near the royal child, smooth, dark, round. His soldier instincts screamed danger. This was no alien technology. It looked human-made, military-grade, and deadly. He moved closer, pretending to check his communication device. His heart pounded. The device had a small red light blinking faster and faster. A bomb. A human bomb. Someone from his own species wanted to destroy the fragile peace. He felt cold inside. This wasn't an accident. Someone wanted the queen dead. They wanted the child dead, and they wanted war. He didn't have time to warn anyone. The blinking turned rapid. He had seconds at best. "Get down!" Marcus shouted, but his voice came too late. The bomb exploded. A wave of fire and metal shot through the hallway. Instinct took over. Marcus didn't think. He ran. He threw himself forward with every bit of strength he had. He jumped between the explosion and the queen's child. The force hit him like a falling star. Heat tore through his armor. The shockwave lifted him off the ground. He hit the floor hard. Everything went dark. When Marcus opened his eyes again, he was lying on the ship's floor, unable to move. His body screamed in pain. Pieces of metal were stuck in his armor, and smoke rose from the ground around him. He tasted blood. His vision blurred. But the child was alive. The small alien heir sat safely behind his body, still shaking, but unharmed. Marcus had covered the child with his own body, taking the full force of the explosion. The queen slowly rose to her feet. Her hands trembled as she touched her child, checking for injuries. When she saw her heir was safe, she turned toward Marcus. Her eyes glowed bright white, a sign of deep emotion in Sarathi culture. Shock, confusion, anger, protection, all mixed inside her gaze. She stared at Marcus like she was trying to understand why a human would do something so impossible. She knelt beside Marcus. Her long fingers touched his burned armor, and a strange expression crossed her face, something between respect and something deeper, something ancient. "You are hurt," she said quietly, "but you will not die. I will not allow that." Marcus tried to smile through the pain. "Just doing my job, ma'am." The queen stared at him like he had spoken a joke she could not understand. "Your job is not to sacrifice your life for mine, yet you did." She looked at her child. The child reached out a small, glowing hand and touched Marcus's forehead gently, like it was thanking him. Then something strange happened. The queen placed both her hands on Marcus's chest. A soft blue light flowed from her palms, spreading into him. Pain eased. His breathing steadied. The world became less dark. Her voice was calm but powerful. "By ancient law, any being who saves the royal heir becomes part of the royal family. This human belongs to us now." The Sarathi guards bowed their heads. Marcus's eyes widened. He saved the child. He saved the queen. And now, he was theirs. The story of his life had just changed forever.
Marcus woke to a strange, soft humming. Warm light glowed above him, shifting gently like blue waves underwater. The bed beneath him felt smooth, almost alive, as if it was breathing with him. When he tried to move, a sharp pain ran through his chest, reminding him of the explosion. He blinked several times until the room came into focus. He was inside a Sarathi healing chamber. The walls were curved in silver, and small lights floated around him like tiny stars. The air smelled clean, like fresh rain. He was alive, somehow. Marcus tried to sit up, but a gentle force pushed him back down. A floating drone hovered beside him, projecting a soft light that scanned his injuries. "You must remain still," the drone said in a calm voice. "Your body is still repairing." Marcus breathed slowly. "How long have I been here?" 7 hours, the drone replied. 7 hours. He had expected to wake in a human medical ship, or maybe not wake at all. But instead, he was deep inside an alien royal vessel. Before Marcus could ask more, the door opened. The queen entered. She moved with quiet strength, her long silver-blue robes trailing behind her like flowing light. Her violet eyes glowed softly as she approached his bed. The guards outside bowed deeply, but she ignored them and focused only on Marcus. A strange silence filled the room. Marcus swallowed. "Your Majesty, your child, are they safe?" The queen nodded. "Alive, because of you." She came closer and looked down at him. Her expression was unreadable, part concern, part confusion, part something deeper. "You should be dead, human," she said softly. "Your body took the full force of the bomb, yet you survived." Marcus gave a weak smile. "Humans are stubborn." The queen did not smile back. She touched his damaged armor, now placed beside the bed. "Why did you protect my heir with your own body? You could have run. You could have saved yourself." Marcus thought for a moment. "Because the child is innocent. Because peace matters. Because it was the right thing to do." The queen studied him for several long seconds, as if analyzing every word. Then she said something Marcus did not expect. "You are mine now." Marcus froze. "What?" The queen straightened her posture. "By Sarathi royal law, any being who saves the life of the heir becomes bound to the royal family. You risked your life from my child. You protected our future ruler. That act cannot be ignored." Marcus tried to push himself upright. "Wait, Your Majesty." She raised her hand slightly. "Do not struggle. Your healing is not complete." "That's not the point," Marcus said. "I didn't save the child to become part of your family. I saved them because it was right." The queen's eyes brightened, a sign of rising emotion. "You misunderstand," she said. "This is not a reward. It is a duty, a sacred one. You are now the protector of the heir." Marcus felt his heart drop. "Protector? Yes. You must remain at the royal palace, with us. By ancient law, you cannot return to your people." Marcus stared at her in disbelief. "You're saying I can't go back to Earth?" The queen nodded quietly. "Not without breaking our oldest oath." Marcus felt cold. He imagined Earth, his team, his home. He imagined the military panic when they learned a human was inside the Sarathi palace. And now he was trapped between two worlds. "But my people will think I was kidnapped," Marcus said. "This will cause problems, maybe even war." The queen's eyes softened for the first time. "I do not wish war, but I will not lose the one who saved my child." A soft sound came from the doorway. The queen's heir entered the room. The small glowing child walked slowly towards Marcus. Its golden markings pulsed warmly. It climbed onto the edge of his bed and gently touched his hand. Marcus felt a warm, peaceful energy spreading through his arm. The child looked up at him and whispered, "Protector." The queen watched the moment with a strange, emotional intensity. "That is why you must stay," she said quietly. "My heir has accepted you. They trust you. Losing you now would break them." Marcus closed his eyes. The weight of the situation pressed down on him. A part of him wanted to leave, wanted to go home, to familiar things. But another part,
deep inside, felt something different, something new. A bond, a promise he didn't remember making, but one he had already fulfilled. Still, he had to try. "Your Majesty," Marcus said slowly, "I am honored, truly. But I didn't agree to any of this. My people might not understand this law. You could be putting both our species at risk." The queen stepped closer, her voice low. "Then let them come and speak with me, but you will remain here. You saved everything I care about. I will not let you walk away from that." There was a quiet threat in her tone, not anger, but unshakable resolve. The room fell silent. Marcus looked at the queen, then at the child holding his hand, then back at the ceiling above him. He whispered to himself, "What have I gotten myself into?" But the queen heard him. "You have gotten yourself," she said softly, "a place in our future." The door closed behind her, leaving Marcus alone with the air and a new destiny he could not escape.
Marcus sat on the edge of the healing bed, watching the soft lights float around the room. His body still hurt, but he could move now. The Sarathi healers had repaired a lot, yet he felt different, not just physically, but inside. He was no longer just a soldier. He was now the protector of the air, tied to an alien royal family by a law he never knew existed. The door opened with a gentle hum. A Sarathi royal guard stepped inside, his armor shining like polished glass. "The queen requests your presence," he said. Marcus took a slow breath and stood. "Lead the way." The guard walked him through long, bright halls. Everywhere they passed, Sarathi workers bowed their heads respectfully. Marcus felt uncomfortable. A few days ago, he was just a human security officer. Now, an entire alien empire bowed to him. When they reached the grand chamber, the queen stood waiting beside a tall, glowing table filled with floating symbols and images. Her child sat near her, watching Marcus with wide golden eyes. "You are strong enough to walk? Good." Marcus nodded. "Still not sure I'm strong enough for everything else." The queen didn't smile. "There is much you do not know about the attack. Sit." Marcus sat across from her. A holographic projection appeared above the table. It showed the bomb, the same device he had thrown himself onto. This was not of Sarathi design, nor from any known pirate group. Marcus leaned forward. "I noticed that too. That bomb was human-made." The queen's eyes narrowed. "Your people deny involvement. They say no human team carried such a device." She paused. "But we found something inside the wreckage." Another image appeared, a broken piece of metal with a small marking. Marcus felt a chill run through him. It was a human symbol, not military, not government. A circle with a burning star inside. Marcus knew it well. The Pure Earth Alliance, a rogue human group, anti-alien, violent, dangerous. They believed humanity should rule the galaxy and destroy anything they saw as unpure. They must have infiltrated the diplomatic team, Marcus whispered. The queen's voice darkened. "They want war. They want peace to break. And they would have succeeded if not for you." Marcus looked down, fist tightening. He felt anger burn inside him. "My people won't believe this unless we show them proof." The queen said, "You will show them." Marcus blinked. "Me?" "Yes. You are the only human we trust now, and the only human who saw the bomb before it exploded." A quiet silence filled the room. Marcus asked, "What do you need me to do?" Before the queen could answer, the chamber door opened again. A Sarathi messenger rushed in, breathing fast. "Your Majesty," he said, bowing, "we found something else." The queen's eyes turned bright. "Speak." The messenger pointed at Marcus nervously. "It concerns the Protector." Marcus stood slowly. "Me?" The messenger held out a small device. "This was discovered near the explosion site. It contains a message, human audio." The queen gestured. "Play it." A distorted voice filled the room. "To Marcus Hale, if you hear this, stay silent. Do not speak of what we did. If you reveal anything, Earth will reject you. You will never return home." The message ended with static. Marcus felt frozen. The Pure Earth Alliance had sent him a warning. They knew he survived. They knew he might talk, and they had threatened him. The queen watched him with unreadable eyes. Your own people threaten you, and still you protect them? Marcus swallowed hard. These aren't my people. They're criminals, traitors, murderers. The queen stepped closer, her voice soft but sharp. Then you must help us stop them. Marcus rubbed his forehead. His mind raced. He wanted to do the right thing, but he also knew how humans worked. If he accused a human group while standing beside an alien queen, Earth might not trust him. Before he could respond, the chamber lights flickered. The Serati heir suddenly turned toward the window, eyes wide. A deep vibration shook the palace. The queen lifted her head sharply. What was that? A guard ran in. Your Majesty, sensors show a human shuttle approaching our restricted zone. No permission, no communication. Marcus felt his heart drop. Humans here? The guard nodded. Yes, and their weapons are charged. The queen's eyes glowed with cold anger. They come to silence the protector. Marcus felt adrenaline surge. No, they wouldn't. Before he finished, the chamber doors slammed shut. Two figures stepped inside. Humans, wearing dark armor with the symbol of the Pure Earth Alliance. One raised his weapon. Marcus Hale, stand down. You're coming with us. Marcus stared at them, stunned. You're insane. You attacked a royal child. You almost caused a war. The man smirked. That was the plan. The queen moved protectively in front of her heir. Step away from him. The human agent armed his weapon at her. Move, alien. Something snapped inside Marcus. He stepped forward, rage burning in his chest. If you fire that weapon, you start a war humanity cannot win. The second agent sneered. Humanity doesn't need to win. We just need to prove aliens can't be trusted. Marcus clenched his fists. You're going to kill innocent people for your twisted beliefs? The first agent stepped closer. We're going to kill you, Marcus. The queen raised her hand and her guards rushed forward. Chaos exploded in the room. Weapons fired. Guards tackled the intruders. Marcus leapt aside, grabbing one of the attackers, trying to wrestle the weapon away. The Serati heir screamed, clinging to the queen. After a violent struggle, the guards finally subdued the attackers. The chamber fell silent again, except for heavy breathing. Marcus stood, shaking, staring at the defeated humans. The queen stepped beside him. Now you see, she said quietly. Your own kind wants you dead. Marcus closed his eyes. The conspiracy was bigger than he imagined, and he was right in the middle of it.
The chamber still smelled of burnt metal and ozone. Two human agents lay restrained on the floor, guarded by Sarathi soldiers. Marcus breathed hard, trying to calm the storm inside him. His own species had tried to kill him. They had nearly killed the queen. They had almost taken the life of a child who trusted him. Marcus felt sick. The queen stepped beside him, her glowing eyes narrowing as she looked at the unconscious attackers. The Pure Earth Alliance has grown bold, she said quietly. Too bold. Marcus rubbed his forehead. They're desperate. If they can't destroy your empire from the outside, they'll try to do it from inside. The queen's voice dropped to a cold whisper. Then we must stop them before they destroy everything. Before Marcus could answer, the palace lights flickered again. A loud alarm rang through the halls. A guard rushed in. Your Majesty! A second human ship has entered orbit. It is large, military grade. Marcus's heart jumped. A battleship? From Earth? The guard shook his head. No, its signal is hidden. It could belong to the rogue faction. The queen turned to Marcus slowly. They are not here just to threaten. They want to take you or kill you. Marcus felt a rush of anger and fear. Then we need to move. Now. The queen nodded. Guard the air. Marcus, follow me. They ran through the palace halls. Sarathi soldiers escorted them in a tight shield formation. Marcus felt the strange alien energy inside his chest, left over from the queen's healing, making him faster, stronger, more balanced than before. The palace shook suddenly, as if something powerful struck the outer shields. Another alarm echoed. They're firing at the palace, a guard shouted. Marcus clenched his fists. They'll kill hundreds, just to silence the truth. The queen looked at him with a mix of anger and sadness. This is why our alliance was needed. Humans and Sarathi needed to stand together, but some fear unity. They entered a long silver corridor that curved like a spiral toward the queen's private escape hangar. But before they reached it, a loud metallic crash shook the floor. The ceiling above them cracked. Soldiers aimed their weapons. "Get back!" Marcus shouted. The ceiling collapsed, and armored human attackers dropped down from the broken opening. Their armor was black with glowing red stripes, all marked with the pure earth symbol. One pointed at Marcus. "There! Take him!" The queen moved instantly, stepping in front of Marcus. "You will not touch him." The intruders raised their weapons. Marcus grabbed the queen's arm and pulled her back as the hallway exploded with energy fire. Sarathi guards fought fiercely. Their weapons blasted bright blue streaks across the hall. The attackers returned fire with red beams that cut into the walls. Marcus ducked behind a pillar, breathing fast. He saw one attacker aiming right at the queen. He didn't think. He moved. He charged the attacker from behind, slammed into him, and grabbed his weapon. With enhanced strength, Marcus punched the man hard enough to send him crashing into a wall. The queen stared at Marcus with shock. Your strength," she began. "I'll explain later," Marcus said breathlessly. "We need to move." More attackers appeared at the far end of the hall. The queen raised her hand. A burst of violet energy spiraled from her palm, smashing into the enemy group and throwing them backward. The Sarathi guards moved in, their blades of glowing blue energy slicing through armor. Marcus took the queen's arm. "We have to get to the hangar." They ran again, turning into a wide chamber with tall glass windows showing the dark space outside. A single sleek royal shuttle waited on a raised platform. But just as they reached the ramp, a blast shook the chamber. A human agent burst from the shadows and lunged toward Marcus with a knife. Marcus blocked with his arm, but the blade scraped across his skin. He shoved the attacker back, grabbed the fallen knife, and flipped it in his hand. The rogue agent charged again. Marcus dodged and slammed the man into the floor. The impact knocked the attacker out cold. The queen watched him with a strange expression, part fear, part respect. "You fight like a Sarathi warrior," she said. "I'm learning fast," Marcus replied. They reached the shuttle. As the doors began to close, a final explosion tore open the far wall. Air and debris rushed out. Marcus grabbed the queen and pulled her inside just in time. The shuttle sealed shut. "Launch!" Marcus shouted. The Sarathi pilot activated the engines. The shuttle lifted, shook, then blasted out of the palace hangar. Outside, space was chaos. A massive black human ship circled the planet, firing down at the capital. Smaller ships darted around it like angry insects. Marcus gritted his teeth. "They're not hiding anymore." The queen placed a hand on his shoulder. "They fear you, and what you know." Marcus looked out the shuttle window. He saw fire on the surface. He saw Sarathi ships rising to defend the capital, and he saw the rogue human battleship turning its cannons toward their escape shuttle. "They're aiming at us," Marcus said. The queen's voice was calm. "Then we must reach the High Council. Only they can authorize the full defense grid." Marcus nodded. "And after that?" Her eyes glowed softly. "Then you and I will bring the truth to your people." The shuttle plunged through space toward the heart of the Sarathi system, leaving the burning palace behind. But Marcus knew the worst was still coming. The next move would decide the fate of two species.
The Sarathi royal shuttle raced through open space, its engines leaving long blue trails behind. Marcus stood near the window, watching the chaos grow smaller in the distance. The rogue human battleship still fired at the capital city, and smoke covered the sky like a dark storm. The queen placed her hand against the window. Her glowing eyes were calm, but Marcus could see the pain behind them. "My people are under attack," she whispered, "all because you lived." Marcus lowered his head. Guilt twisted inside him. "I never wanted this. I never wanted anyone to die because of me." The queen looked at him gently. "It is not your fault. It is the fault of those who fear peace." A Sarathi pilot spoke from the front. "Your Majesty, we are approaching the High Council station." Marcus saw it ahead, a massive space ring floating above the planet. It was the heart of Sarathi power. If any place could turn the tide of battle, it was this. But Marcus felt uneasy. "Your Majesty, Earth will blame me for today. They won't understand." The queen touched his arm. "Then we will make them understand." The shuttle docked with the council station. As the doors opened, tall Sarathi guards bowed deeply. The queen moved quickly, her robes flowing. Marcus followed her into the council chamber. High-ranking Sarathi leaders stood around a great circular platform, their glowing robes shifting with emotion. One of them stepped forward. "Your Majesty, the humans attack our capital. We request permission to activate the planetary defense grid." The queen raised her hand. "Not yet." The council members gasped. Marcus felt confused. "If you don't activate the defenses, people will die." The queen looked at him sadly. "And if we activate them now, the humans will think we declared war first." The council room filled with heavy silence. Marcus stepped closer. "Then what's the plan?" The queen turned toward the central console. A hologram of the enemy battleship appeared, black, sharp, and full of deadly firepower. "We must expose the truth," she said. "Show the galaxy that this attack is from a human rogue faction, not Earth." Marcus nodded slowly. "If we can reveal their identity, Earth will be forced to stop them." "And the peace may survive," the queen added. Before they could act, an alarm blared through the chamber. A Sarathi guard rushed in. "Your Majesty, the rogue battleship is charging its main cannon. They're aiming at the council station." Marcus felt his stomach drop. "They're trying to kill the leadership, and us." The queen looked at him. "Then we cannot wait. We must defend ourselves." She placed her hands on the main console. Her energy flowed into it, activating a blue wave that spread across the station. "Activate the defense grid," she commanded. The council members obeyed instantly. Giant shields formed around the station, glowing bright blue. A second later, the rogue battleship fired its main cannon. A beam of red energy smashed into the shield. The entire station shook violently. "We can't take many hits like that," Marcus shouted. The queen nodded. "Then we strike back." Sarathi ships launched from the station, sleek, fast, deadly. They flew toward the rogue Fuman battleship, firing in perfect formation. Explosions filled the void of space. Marcus leaned over the console. "We need to get a clear frequency to contact Earth. If they hear the battle, they'll think Sarathi started it." The queen looked at him with worry. "Their communications are being jammed." Marcus's heart raced. "Then we need to board the rogue ship, get the evidence ourselves, broadcast it." The queen stared at him for a long moment. "That is dangerous." Marcus met her eyes. "I know, but it's the only way." The queen hesitated. Then she nodded. "You will not go alone," she said. "I will go with you." Marcus shook his head. "Your Majesty, it's too dangerous. They want you dead even more than me." Her voice softened. "Marcus, you saved my child. You saved my life. Do not ask me to stay behind while you risk yours." Marcus felt a warmth in his chest, something deeper than duty, something almost like belonging. He nodded. "Okay, we go together." Minutes later, they boarded a small Sarathi assault craft. Marcus checked the strange alien armor the Queen's healers had given him. It fit him perfectly, like it was made for him. Maybe it was. The Queen stood beside him in full royal battle armor. Her eyes glowed fiercely. "Are you ready?" Marcus asked. She gave a small smile. "With you, yes." The craft shot out of the hangar, dodging fire as it sped toward the rogue human battleship. Marcus grabbed the controls, weaving through explosions. The Queen placed her hand on the console. "I will stabilize our shields." The battleship grew larger ahead of them, a giant black beast of metal. Marcus whispered, "Almost there." A blast hit them from behind. The craft spun wildly. Alarms screamed. The Queen grabbed Marcus's shoulder. "Hold steady."
He forced the craft into alignment, smoke filling the cockpit. They were almost at the docking port. "We're going in," Marcus yelled. The craft slammed into the battleship's side. The impact knocked them forward, but they were alive. The Queen looked at him with fierce determination. "Inside this ship, we will end the lies." Marcus drew a deep breath. "And we save both our worlds." The doors opened. Together, they stepped into the heart of the enemy. Their final choice began now.